Good whenever this is. Good afternoon, happy new year, all that other nonsense. Not legal advice. Like, subscribe, please share, comment. I do look at all comments. But share with other people, share with your animals, share with your pets. Hope everybody is well. I have a few things to talk about. I'm going to talk about TradeStation. I'm going to talk about a little MMTLP arbitration, little finger motion, and a little Alpine, and a few jokes. So we're going to start off with three up front and two at the end. So we'll see how those goes. Again, not legal advice. Like, subscribe again, and don't rely. Do your own work, but happy to provide you whatever purported insight I have. So quickly, a man stuck a pistol in a guy's ribs and said, "Give me your money." The gentleman, shocked by the sudden attack, said, "You can't do this. I'm a congressman." The thief replied, "In that case, give me my money." Listening? Nothing. What's the difference between a mediator and an astronaut? An astronaut sits on top of a controlled explosion and has some idea where it's going. And last but not least, the first set of jokes. What is the most popular name lawyers give to their daughters? Of course, Sue. So I wanted to talk about a few things. We're going to deal with TradeStation. So TradeStation apparently came forward and indicated that they have counterfeit shorts. So in their bulk certificate, I think it's, and I'm estimating. This is not a precise number, but let's say they have 122,000 shares in their bulk certificate. They have a lot more that are allocated to their shareholders, so they don't have enough shares, which means they have diluted their own shareholders, which means they've diluted all shareholders of MMTLP. Because, for example, if I had one share at Fidelity, that one share now is worth less than one share. So I contemplated suing TradeStation because they've harmed me, and I'm going to go forward and sue TradeStation because they've harmed me. And we'll see what happens with that. That'll be filed within the next couple of weeks, and I obviously will apprise you as we get there. I hope in the meantime there's other brokers that come clean, maybe other brokers that are in a similar situation and that announce that. And also what I was thinking about, this would be interesting, that if enough brokers got involved in litigation, they would perhaps sue other brokers who have liability and bigger liability for contribution. And wouldn't that be interesting if I'm in an arbitration with Fidelity, but Fidelity is brought in to my case via another broker who I don't have a contract with? That would be interesting to see how that works out. I don't know if that will, but I intend to go forward with TradeStation. It's an interesting admission. Seems like progress. I also heard some other stuff unrelated to that I thought was progress for MMTLP. We'll see where that goes. Can't really discuss it because I don't know firsthand, but I just happened to hear something. Anyway, so that's what's going forward. I'll keep everybody apprised. Anybody else who has a account with TradeStation, wow, if that were me, I would sue them. I don't have an account, but I still think they've harmed me, so we shall see. And besides the fact there's going to be securities issues, securities violations, there'll be state claims. We'll file it in California. We'll see where it goes, and I obviously will keep you apprised. Secondarily, my MMTLP arbitration is ongoing, and every time I do a video, literally we've filed something or the like. So most recent thing was on Friday, the bad guys, Fidelity, filed oppositions to my motions to get rid of the panel of arbiters, and basically saying that all is fine, and just because they ruled that way, don't watch the ball over here. Don't follow the ball. Don't concentrate on the Congress people's letter. Don't talk about TradeStation. Don't talk about the November 2022 failure to sell their shares, etc. So they're doing that. I will be filing a reply. Let me back up. I filed something this morning. I filed a brief reply just to have something on file. Again, saying that it's not so much the result, it's the process. You can't be deciding these issues without on subject matters that are very novel, where none of these panel members have any clue, without a hearing and without rationale. Makes no sense. Seems like a deprivation of or failure to comply with their own oath. So, asserted that very briefly. I'm going to file a more lengthy reply this week. I also will be filing a supplemental report to the federal court, who originally heard our case but sent it to arbitration. A joint report was just filed. I have to file a separate supplemental report to let the court know what is going on. So if we happen to end up back before that judge in trying to either vacate or confirm an arbitration award, that judge will have a better idea of what's going on in real time. So that will be going forward. Also, I'll let you know when I file the replies, and I'll let you know basically what's in them, as well as the report to the federal court. Finger motion, that the earnings are coming up. Last time all this happened, there were a bunch of short and distort reports that came out. So I would expect, if I was a finger motion shareholder, I would expect some kind of BS short reports. And if it were me, and I would do it, if I think it's a false report, I'm going to let the feds know. That's what everybody should do. And would that be Secret Service? Why not? Would that be the FBI? Sure. Would that be your local police or other enforcement agency? Why not? How about the IRS? Go after them all. These guys are probably, I don't know who they are, by the way, but these guys are probably not worth the time and effort. So if you see nonsense going on, act on it right away. Try to stop the nonsense from going forward. And last but not least, before we sign out with a couple jokes on the way out, Alpine, the oral argument is February 18th. So Alpine is an appeal in the DC circuit. A bunch of briefs were filed by all kinds of parties who are unrelated. The hearing oral argument is February 8th. What's interesting about that February 8th date is that it's also in the Supreme Court, the hearing on the Colorado v. Trump matter. So it'll be a very interesting day. And of course, I will cover both issues, but the Alpine oral argument will be interesting, and a decision on Alpine and whether they do not have to, in effect, at this point in time, comply with FINRA and the SEC will likely be 60 days after the oral argument. So that would be somewhere around April-ish, I'm thinking. So we will see how that goes, but we will cover that. So just quickly again, TradeStation going forward, MMT arbitration, battling it out over the panel, and setting the stage in federal court to keep the court apprised. Finger motion, expect nonsense going on because of the upcoming earnings reports, and Alpine and the Trump matter, same day for oral argument, February 8th, 2024. I will keep you apprised of all those things. And why did the can crusher quit his job? Because it was soda pressing. And last but not least, and I like this one the best, I've decided to keep the best joke for last, at least in my opinion. A doctor reaches into his smock to get a pen to write a prescription, but instead he pulls out a rectal thermometer. He proclaims loudly, "Some asshole has my pen." Anyway, hope everybody's well. Everybody have a great weekend. I hope this supplied some information for you. If you have any questions about any of these matters, please comment. And I think starting Monday, probably like 30 minutes a day, I'm going to start doing live streams, probably 3 times a week, I'm guessing. We shall see. and I'll kind of just go over what's going on. And anybody wants to ask questions, I'll answer, and we'll do it. Probably do it 6 o'clock Eastern time. That's kind of off the top of my head. We shall see how it goes. Everybody be well, take care, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you on a live stream also.